right there. And once again, where do I start? So for this one, I'm going to show you a different way too. I'm going to start right here. Now this takes it's a little risky because I look at a couple things. I looked at how low is my drawing going to go. So if it goes right here, I'm taking a measurement and I'm picking a spot. But I want you to see if you could see where I am, where I decided to start my drawing. So, I just drew a negative space shape. And it looks pretty, I could easily see this line. I'm already seeing angles a little flatter, so it was more vertical. So I got to pay attention to that. I'm tilting the angles this way. I want them more vertical when they are. So this is the space between her arm and the torso. So I'm not only looking at lines, I'm looking at shapes made by those lines. If that makes any sense. And you do have a few of them, not many, but a few of them that are going to be very, very helpful as markers for you to use to your advantage. Another tip, closing one eye. And you do, by the way, have a dominant eye. And I'll tell you how to figure out which one, if you haven't, which one is your dominant eye. But if you close one eye, what you do is you flatten the image even more. I mean, this image is flat. But you flatten the image more, you kind of, what you're doing is also you're not letting in as much light as with two eyes. So it becomes a little easier to read. But you do see the shapes much easier because instead of bifocal, you go mono. And it does serve a purpose. It actually works extremely well when you're working from life. I do it so much, and I not just close one eye, I blur my vision as much as possible. So I'm entering that area that I talked about earlier where my left brain is going, oh, let me take over. I know where we are. I know how to deal with this. And it wants to shortcut this into, you know what, those words. But no, I apply a little bit of logic, spatial logic, and I take my time. Sometimes it takes stopping. Stop, breathe. Look at it until you make sense of it. Until you're confident that you got it. Understand it. And then draw it. Rushing through it, especially in exercises like this, it's not a good thing. I would say the more you slow down, the more you analyze each mark, the happier you're going to be. So I was talking about closing one eye or squinting. In this case, squinting is not the right one. Closing one eye is. If you close one eye and you can begin to see the shape and the angles that those lines are making, it could be very helpful. It could be one of those techniques that you go, aha, wow, why does this look so much better? And then you realize, oh, that's right. That's what I was closing one eye. So somehow I did see it easier. And in the end, that's what it's all about. Can you see it? Yes, we can all see it. But can you really see it? And then you see people that, how did they see that? Oh, I didn't see it until someone else saw it. So yes, of course you could see it. You just didn't choose to at that moment. So how do I do that? It's like anything else. You practice, you develop the techniques that are going to get you sharper observation skills. You have to know what you're looking for, so it's a little bit of experience as well. Once you've done this or something like this and you do it again, next time it should feel like, well, I've been here before, for good or bad, and now I know a certain things that I didn't know before, so I'll put those into use. So here we deal with that spatial issue, relationship between the lines, and really just try your hardest not to make up information that is not there. All it comes down to is angle, length, and shape of line. That's it. If you find yourself making up information that's not there, I gotta tell you, stop it. Tell yourself, stop it. Don't, not doing that. And it's a question also about trust. Do you trust yourself? How much do you trust yourself? In terms of what you're seeing, how you're seeing it. Sometimes we think, well, of course I trust myself. But your left brain, your left side of the brain is saying, no, I take over and I can do a better job. And then you don't understand. Wait, why? Why does it always come out like this? The thing that I don't understand. It most likely will happen that way. Generally, it happens that way. So these exercises are unbelievable to also understand, well, that line connects here. It should have met here. So if this is already off, then there's issues with how I'm seeing proportion, not just the angles, but the lengths of those lines. And the relationship between them is crucial. Squinting again. Now, it's inevitable. Even though we're all looking at the same thing and we could all start at the same time with the same clock, we all choose to go in different paths. Just like life. And we all have our own personality that we somehow, it kind of is that's what it's all about. Adding your personal touch to it, your personality, your life story, the way you see the world to it, and it comes through. So in those choices, how did I choose to go here and here instead of following it this way? And some of you may say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he go that way? It's because we each choose to see things, even though it's the same exact thing, in our own way. So, making sure you begin to understand, what is your way? Is it a choice or is it just a habit? And if it's a habit, do you understand the habit, the patterns of that habit? So you could use it to your advantage. Do you control it or does it control you? And when we're not aware of it, well, there's nothing you can do about it. Just, I guess, enjoy the ride. But if you're trying to come up with solutions for better drawing, and I use the word better drawing, I believe all drawing is beautiful, unbelievable. The fact that you just choose to do it is a win. It's success. Now, how we judge them as good, bad, that's a whole different thing. Obviously, it does make sense. There's drawings that happen to be in museums for a reason. And I believe when thousands, if not millions of people agree, oh my, with tears sometimes, that that is such a beautiful drawing, there's something to it. And what I believe it is truth. And what do I mean by truth? That artist was so connected with that subject at that moment that we all can see, we all can feel what that artist was feeling. And we somehow have felt that at some point, so we recognize it, and then we obviously, we celebrate it. We celebrate it, and we, as artists, hope to achieve it. And it is, how truthful, how sincere are you being with the way you see the lines and the way you are expressing those lines. Now there's a thing, there's areas of this drawing, and it just happened to me, where I was drawing something completely abstract. By abstract, I mean there were just shapes of lines that I had no idea what that was. No idea meaning I could not name what it was. What are you drawing there? I don't know, just a shape. All of a sudden, I realized what it was. Huh, oh look at that. I hadn't seen it that way. And it changes. It changes the way you approach, the way you draw it. It's inevitable. Just giving you a heads up, 3 minutes left. Now, I have not answered the question. I was kind of saving it for later, which is, wait, why are we drawing upside down? That is just one technique that allows, call it a speed bump. We're adding a speed bump to the left side of the brain, the one that wants to, cannot do without it. That's primary job one. Identify the thing, identify the pattern, name it, store it, simplify it, move on. So, as we turn it upside down, that little speed bump slows that process at least just a little bit. More on some than others. And I'm hoping one of those is you. Because some of us are so, can't trick me. I know elbow when I see it. And that's, remember, your left brain taking full control, not allowing you to go for that nice walk. I actually feel really good about this one. It felt good. It felt really good. I enter. That's one of the things about drawing. I'm going to say it. It is therapy. All art is therapy. Not just drawing, painting, but music, dance, poetry, photography. You name it. All art serves as therapy. So it is very meditative. And what is it about that? I think when you enter that place where you forget where you are, forget what time it is, and forget even how long it is, that sometimes you forget to eat, that is awesome. It's a beautiful, they call it the zone. Athletes use it all the time when they enter that space, that zone. Artists, when you can do that, these exercises, it allows you to go there. I gotta say, now that I'm saying I'm finished, I feel like I was there. And I'm gonna get rid of the clock, and I'm going to Do the ta-da, flip it over. And there it is. Understanding a few things here. You just did this upside down.